Welcome to the deep dive. You know, um, Wandering through a local market in a new place, it's one of those really great travel moments, isn't it?
Absolutely. The sounds, the smells, trying to maybe buy some fresh stuff.
Exactly. And today we're actually diving into a short story that captures just that. It's about a customer shopping for vegetables from a seller named Emma.
Right. And our mission here for you listening is to pull out some really practical English words and phrases you can actually use next time you find yourself in that kind of market setting.
Perfect. So let's jump right in. The story kicks off by setting the scene at the local market.
Hmm.
The example sentence was, "We buy our fruits at the local market." So pretty straightforward. The local market is just a place nearby in the community where people sell goods.
Yeah. A community shopping place. And what happens there? People sell things.
Right. Like Emma in the story, she's there to sell her vegetables,
Mhm.
basically exchange them for money.
And when you're buying produce, weight often comes up. The word kilo, for instance.
Ah, yes, $2 per kilo for tomatoes in the story. So a kilo, that's simply a unit of weight. It's 1,000 grams.
Precisely. 1,000 grams. And what do you hope those tomatoes are?
Fresh. Definitely fresh. The story mentions fresh tomatoes, means they were, recently picked, not old.
Nobody wants old tomatoes.
No. And another term you might encounter is organic, like the organic carrots mentioned.
Right, and organic simply means they were grown without chemicals. More natural farming methods.
And kind of related to that, sometimes you see signs saying grown locally.
Yeah, that just tells you it was produced nearby. Often means it's super fresh and, well, supports local farmers too.
Good point. Now, sometimes, especially with things like potatoes or carrots, you might see a bit of, well, dirt.
Soil.
That's it, soil. The story says the potatoes had soil from the farm. It's the top layer of earth where plants grow. Kind of a sign they're straight from the ground, really.
It can be, yeah. And then there are items sold together, like the spinach in the story. Two bunches of spinach.
So, bunch is just a group.
A group of items, yeah. Tied or just held together. Like a bunch of grapes or, like you said, spinach.
Okay. So, you've gathered your fresh, maybe organic, locally grown veggies. What's next?
You need to know the total.
Right, the total, which is just the full amount you have to pay. The
Okay.
customer's total was $12.
And after you pay that total, it's usually smart to get
A receipt.
Ah.
Definitely. Your paper proof of purchase shows what you bought, how much you paid. Useful stuff.
Couldn't agree more.
Okay, so we've covered quite a few words there. Now let's try and make them stick. This is your chance to practice saying them. Just repeat the word and the short definition after us. Ready?
All right. Let's start with local market.
A community shopping place.
Sell,
To exchange goods for money.
kilo,
1,000 grams.
fresh,
Recently harvested.
organic,
Grown without chemicals.
grown locally,
Produced nearby.
soil,
Top layer of earth.
bunch,
A group of tied items. The full amount to pay.
and finally, receipt.
Proof of purchase.
Nicely done. Hope you repeated those along with us. Now, to really check that understanding, how about a super quick quiz based on the story details?
Sounds good. Okay, first one. Where does Emma work?
At the local market,
Good. How much were the tomatoes?
that was $2 per kilo,
Yep. What does organic mean again?
grown without chemicals.
Perfect. Why were the potatoes a bit dirty?
They had soil from the farm.
Right. What did the customer actually buy?
Let's see, 3 kilos of potatoes and 2 bunches of spinach.
You got it. What does total mean?
The full amount to pay,
And why is getting a receipt a good idea?
because it's proof of purchase.
Excellent. Last one. What does locally grown mean?
Produced nearby.
Fantastic. And just like that, our deep dive into market vocabulary comes to a close. You should now have, well, a pretty solid set of words for your next shopping trip to an English-speaking market.
Yeah, you really do. And, something that made me think about is how just knowing these few terms can open things up. It's not just about buying. It's maybe about having a little chat.
That's a great point. Like, what other phrases might be useful? Could you ask where something was grown using locally grown? Could you ask for a receipt?
Exactly. It encourages interaction.
So maybe next time you're out, give it a try. Use kilo. Or ask if something is fresh. See how it goes. It's a brilliant way to practice and, connect a bit more.
Definitely. Well worth trying.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.